What's going on YouTube? Welcome to part 3 of this AT3K revisit, where we are going to be diving into the turret with a lot of questions, and I'm not even sure that I really have any answers yet. So let's get going. So one of the things I want to say first off is my testing material is black. That's what I had in my printer at the time. So on camera, these will look terrible. I will have a lot of overlays just so I won't have to keep explaining myself, hopefully too much in detail, and you guys will understand what it is I'm rambling about. So first and foremost, the turret. I think I said in my last video, but I basically recreated this guy, not exactly, but pretty close to the dimensions, the width, with the PETG holes in there. The next couple of things were pretty simple in that I created a dart stop. So the back of the turret is a little bit smaller. The front, I think there is 10 millimeters up here that will accept the PETG, and then there's a small shelf and it rests on that, and that is a dart stop. So if you can see here, that basically just slots in there. It's not going to come out. It's a nice friction fit. It's also airtight, and when I stick darts in there, those also have a little bit of a tight fit and can freely, hopefully, be pushed out of the barrel as needed. And also a chamfer in the back here so that when you are, stuffing darts into the barrels, your finger isn't going to get cut up or, bruised for the day. When I started thinking about the rotation mech, I looked at the AT2K because that is kind of a compact, all-inclusive thing. And I will show you guys a little bit more in detail the AT2K and my idea. So the AT2K has a back plate which is secured to the shell with the tooth and gear, and then the turret itself, which has the rod attached to it with also the tooth and gear, and the spring with the cap. In my idea, we take the turret, we change the gearing to the front side of it, and that will then have a cap with the rod that's affixed to it with a spring inside both of those. So here's just a quick photo of an AT2K turret inside the blaster. The back plate is secured to the blaster so it doesn't move. You have the turret that then turns. The teeth are between the back plate and the front, and then you have the spring with the cap holding it all together. The reason why I don't want to have this type of setup for the AT3K is that you have to load the dart through the back plate and into the turret itself, which means you're pushing the dart further in than just being flush with that back plate. The other is that there is an air gap between the two pieces. So eliminating that back piece and just having it be one piece would be the way to go. And the spring can also get in the way, as you can see in the picture, or probably not with this picture, but the spring is actually pushed off a little bit to the side because of that PETG tube connecting the tank with the turret. So that gets a little bit in the way, and the barrels are pointed down just a little bit. You can't really tell too terribly, but it is there, and there isn't that much room between the tank and the turret in the AT3K. So the main issue that I found with my idea is that there isn't a way to fix the rod into the blaster. And what I mean by that is you have the rod, the turret, the spring, the cap. The rod and the cap need to be fixed so they don't move, and then the turret spins freely around the rod. In the stock blaster, that rod obviously spins freely to move the turret. But in the internals, there isn't a good way to fix it into place. And I mean only in that you cannot fix this without some type of modification of drilling or glue or some other method of fixing it into place. So that kind of got me thinking about other methods of fixing it into place. I went down this weird rabbit hole of making the cap, the gear cap, into a screw. I don't know why. I ran into a whole bunch of issues with this, although I did learn how to create threads for 3D prints, and it's a pain in the butt. So let's just toss that out the window and move on from there. Since I work better having something kind of physical in my hand that I can see, touch, play with, put this together. This is fixed into my test print, and had it in the blaster just so I could kind of see what I'm dealing with. And you can kind of see here, you know, here's the turret and it spins, and you have the rod right here that obviously there's a lot of play in the internals. One of the interesting things that I found was that even though this spins freely, it actually fits over the outlet for the air tank, which means it's kind of locked into place. Let me hold this down. You pull it out a little bit, you can turn it into the next, and it locks in. And so essentially, this creates the indexing. And I was super excited about this and thought, I'm done. Easy, you know? But what I found when I did some tests is that when you put a dart into the blaster, you tend to put it flush with the back of the turret. In my testing of this, the outlet for the tank would kind of crunch the darts because it would slide across, and it would sometimes pinch the dart a little bit or eat it up a tiny bit, which meant you have to actually push the darts in further into the back of the turret so that the outlet would be there. Is that an issue? I don't know. Just because, again, I don't know how this is going to be loaded. Will it be rear loaded? Or if it's not, then you can actually push the darts in from the front, and maybe then it isn't as big of an issue. So I don't know what this all means yet. It's something that I'm still trying to figure out. Should I index based off of the tank, or should I index off of some type of gearing and tooth? So that is unfortunately the big question. That is where I'm going to leave it tonight. Post a comment below your thoughts and your ideas. Maybe there's something I overlooked. Maybe there's something I'm completely missing. Or maybe there's something that just needs a tweak and could, send me down a new path. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope your week is going great. Let me know what you guys think, and hope to see you guys in part 4. We'll see you guys later.
What are you making?
This is an AT3K. It's an AirTech 3000.
Ooh. Also, I checked, and there's no video of me on YouTube.
That you know of.
No video of me on YouTube.
All right.
Wait, you're not just saving these clips of me. So the second I get a YouTube channel, you're like, oh, and this is my daughter.
You never know.
No!